Okay, so this is the key to worksheet section 2.4, part 1. And you want to write the equation of this line and slope-intercept form given these conditions. It's very similar to the previous lesson, previous worksheet, except that this time you're talking about parallel and perpendicular. So, again, you're going to use the point slope form, y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1, so that's point slope form. So you're going to use that. And remember, in order to use that, you got to know the slope and a point on the line. Okay, so you must know a slope and a point on the line. So in this particular case, you're told that this line you're interested in contains this point. So this is my point, x1, y1. But the problem is you don't know the slope of that line. But you do know that this line that you're interested in is parallel to this other line. And this other line has this equation, and this equation is in slope-intercept form. So the slope of this other line, is 2/3. Okay, so the slope of this line right here is 2/3. So the slope of the line you're interested in, the slope of this line that contains this point, is also 2/3. And the reason it's also 2/3 is because they are parallel. So remember, parallel lines have the same slope. So the slope of this line is also 2/3. Okay, so you know the point of the line and you know the slope, and you just substitute and solve for, again, slope-intercept form, so you solve for y. So we get y minus y1, which is 3, equals the slope, which is 2/3, times x minus a negative 4. You need to rewrite x minus a negative 4. Don't leave it like this. You have to rewrite it, so it's x plus 4. So y minus 3 equals 2/3 times x plus 4. Now remember, this is point slope form. But you want to write in slope-intercept form, so we're going to distribute next. So I get y minus 3 equals 2/3 x plus, all right, let's figure out what 2/3 times 4 over 1 is, so that's 8/3. 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 1 is 3. So you get plus 8/3. The next step is to add 3 to both sides. Combine like terms. 3 to negative 3 is 0, so you get y equals 2/3 x. Using a calculator, use your calculator, we get 8/3 plus 3, so 8 divided by 3 plus 3, you get 5.666 repeating. Hopefully you know that 5.666 repeating is 5 2/3. Even if you didn't know that, use your calculator. Hopefully you did, though. Use your calculator, so second PRB, so that gives you fraction decimal, press equal, and you get 5 2/3. As an improper fraction, though, that's going to be 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17, so 17/3, plus 17/3. So you have y equals 2/3 x plus 17/3. Okay, now the next one. So same idea, except this time it's perpendicular. So you want to find the equation of the line that contains this point. In order to find the equation of the line, though, you're going to use point slope form. In order to use point slope form, you must know a point of the line, which I do. So here's your x1, y1. The problem is you don't know the slope of that line. But you are told that it's perpendicular to this line. And the slope of this line is, remember, the coefficient of x, whatever, multiplying x by, so that's negative 3. All right, so the slope of this line then, remember, they're perpendicular, so perpendicular lines have slopes that are negative reciprocal with each other. Slope is the negative reciprocal. Which means that if this is negative 3, this is a positive. This will be positive. I take the reciprocal of 3. The reciprocal of 3, remember, this is 3, negative 3 over 1. So the reciprocal of 3 over 1 is 1/3. So that's a positive 1/3. All right, so let's talk about this again. So I know the point of the line is 3, negative 1. To find the slope of this line that contains this point, I'm going to use the fact that it's perpendicular to this line. This line has slope negative 3. So since they're perpendicular, this line has to have slope positive, take the reciprocal, 1/3. Okay, so now I can substitute back in. So I get y minus y1, which is negative 1, equals the slope, which is 1/3, times x minus x1, which is 3. You got to rewrite y subtract -1 as y plus 1. You must do that. Equals 1/3 times x minus 3. Now remember, this is point slope. Point slope. Now remember, you want it in slope-intercept form, so you can distribute the 1/3. So you get y plus 1 equals 1/3 x. All right, now 1/3 times a -3 over 1. If you reduce, you would see that 3 into 3 is 1, 3 to -3 is -1. You would get -1. If you want to multiply first, you can. 1 times -3 is -3. 3 times 3 is 3. So you get -1. So this is minus 1. Getting y by itself, I have to subtract 1 from both sides. Combine like terms. I get y equals 1/3 x. A -1 and -1 is a -2. So the answer is y equals 1/3 x minus 2. Okay? All right, so that's the key to worksheet sections 2.1, part 1.